welcome to American Baker in Germany. I'm Michelle and I'm super excited about today's cake. We are making a Miraculous cake with one side being Cat Noir and the other side being Ladybug. So let's get started.
I start out making Cat Noir's ears because I want them to stand up. I roll out some black fondant and cut out 2 triangles out of it. Then I take the triangles and place them over a rolling pin to dry a bit so they'll hold their shape. Then I stack the cake. This is chocolate chip cake and vegan American buttercream. I frost the cake and clean up the cake board. Then I roll out some red fondant cut one side to be straight, and cover half the cake with it. I smooth it on with my hands and cut off the excess with a sharp knife. I also clean up the straight line. Then I roll out some black fondant. Cut a straight line and cover the other half of the cake with it. I trim it with a knife and clean up where the 2 colors meet. Then, using a wooden skewer, I trace the shape of the eyes. I want the sides to act like the masks the characters wear. Then I cut out the shapes and remove the center part, and I do the same thing on the red side. In case you're not familiar with Miraculous, it's a French cartoon set in Paris where there are 2 teenage superheroes, Ladybug and Cat Noir. Ladybug is a fairly awkward teenager named Marinette in real life and wants to be a fashion designer. Cat Noir is a rich but very neglected model named Adrien. They wear the masks to keep their identities secret. I roll out some black fondant and cut out a whole bunch of circles out of it and place them all around the red part of the cake. After all, a ladybug needs spots. If you like what you see, hit that like button. And while you're down there, hit subscribe for a new cake video every week. Then I place the ears on the black side, trying to get them centered. But black fondant shows every fingerprint, so I used a damp paintbrush to remove my fingerprints. Next, I rolled a whole bunch of tiny little balls of black fondant and placed them all around the bottom of the cake on the black side. And I did the same thing with red balls on the red side. And of course, we can't forget the eyes. I rolled out some white fondant and measured the eyes to get the right size, and cut out shapes just a tiny bit bigger than I think I'll need. Then I cut out irises using the back of a piping tip. I filled in the holes with blue fondant the same size. Then I cut out the pupils using a large round piping tip, and I filled them in with some black fondant. I placed them in the holes of the mask, but as I thought, they didn't quite fit into the holes. I had to trim down some white to fit them in. Then I cleaned up the fondant around the eyes with a damp paintbrush. Now Cat Noir has yellow-green eyes, even the whites of his eyes. So I cut out the same eye shapes out of yellow-green fondant and cut out some small circles with a piping tip and gave them points at the top and bottom to make cat eyes. Then I filled in the spaces with black fondant. These I trimmed down before trying to place them into the eye holes. As a final detail, I painted a dark blue ring around the blue irises of Ladybug. I initially made it too dark and had to use some alcohol to remove some of the color. And a green ring around the green irises of Cat Noir. I love this cake. It's just so very true to the show Miraculous. Cat Noir has lovely cat eyes and his signature pointed ears. Ladybug has those gorgeous blue eyes and the spots are just like a ladybug. Any Miraculous fan would love this cake. This cake was a request from a friend of mine because her daughter London loves Miraculous. So thank you for the request. Sorry it was so long in coming, but this is for you, London. For more cakes and tutorials, visit our website at AmericanBakerInGermany.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram.